All right, y'all, this is going to be a little short one today. But listen, we've all seen these news segments or these social media posts where, people are like laughing at the younger generation, laughing at the people who refuse to work a traditional job or people who still live with their parents and just basically opt out of society. A lot of us look at them and we say, man, look at all these lazy kids, dude. They don't want to work. They're going to fail at life. Back when I was their age, I actually had work ethic, etc., etc. But here's the thing is that sometimes, right? Sometimes looking at them feels a little bit like looking at a zoo animal. And what I mean is that we're basically standing inside our cages, pointing and laughing at the people who paid the ticket to come see us. Because we're saying, ha ha ha, look at all those idiots out there. They wasted their money to get into the zoo. They paid money to get into the zoo. Not realizing that we're the ones behind the bars, right? We're the ones that the younger generation is pointing and laughing at. We think they're the butt of the joke when in reality, it's just us. Because listen, let's do some basic math here. Every single person on earth gets exactly 24 hours, right? And I know it's technically a little shorter than 24 for any of you freaking nerds out there, but let's just call it 24. That's the hard ceiling. First, you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep. So now you're down to 16 waking hours. Because sleep's super important. You should not be, circumventing sleep. Don't be trying to go off 2 hours of sleep, bro. Your ass will die at age 41.5 of a heart attack. So get your 8 hours. So now we're down to 16 hours, right? Then you have to go to work. The bare minimum expectation is 8 hours. But we got to be real here. With commutes, overtime, your lunch in the middle of your shift, or just the reality of just trying to make a living and actually earn enough money where you can't just go work some, dead-end ass job. Most people are out here doing 9 to 10 hours. I mean, bare minimum, right? Let's just say 10. So now you're down to about 6 hours of, daylight you can actually do things in. But listen, there's even more. Now we got to go look at the hidden workload, right? The hidden part of life, which we can just call like the maintenance loop because you're just trying to maintain survival. You have to eat, which means you have to grocery shop. That means you have to cook. That means you have to do dishes. You have to maintain your, living area, which means sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, dusting if you're a girl. As a man, do we really dust that much, bro? Anyway, if you own a house, you have to go cut the grass outside and weed eat and edge the yard because heaven forbid the neighbors think that your yard looks a little unacceptable to them, bro. The HOA will lock you up and make you a fucking Django Unchained prisoner. But anyway, that's a different video. Then there's the aesthetic tax because most people are expected to do self-care. You have to shower, you have to bathe, get your hair cut, basically just stay well groomed, right? Shave up your beard, bro. You can't stink, you can't look disheveled. You have to look normal to the rest of the world, right? You have to fit into society. Then if you have a pet, bro, that's even more time. If you have kids, that's a massive, chunk of more time going away. If you have a significant other, you have to go invest quality hours into them. You know what I mean? You have to take them on vacations or spend time with them, things like that, bro. Dude, your circle becomes so big. What I'm saying is if you just add up all the hours you're required to do, right? Before you get a chunk to do anything you want to do, all the shit you're required to do to be a successful, responsible adult, it comes out to be like 40 to 50 hours of tasks. And I'm talking per day, bro, not per week. You got like 40 hours a day to do shit, but you only have maybe 24 hours, but then you got to sleep. You may have 16 hours to do 40 hours of stuff. And then we look around and we wonder why mental health statistics are skyrocketing. You know what I mean? We're wondering why society feels like it's fracturing, bro. It's because it is a biological mismatch, in my opinion. I don't think humans evolved to be steady state machines that just focus for 8 hours a day and then spend the remaining 2 hours of their free time scrubbing a floor or cutting some grass for their neighbors, right? And we just work for the state, work for the government. I'm saying that we're essentially acting as unpaid janitors of our own debt. We just work, so then we have enough money to pay for a house that we only have enough time to maintain and sleep in barely, so then we can wake up and go back to work. So then, whenever we look at the people who look at this equation and realize that it is an impossibility, and they choose just to stay home and opt out of the system, we look at them laughing, but in reality, maybe they aren't the ones who are broken. Maybe they're the only ones who looked at the math and refused to pretend that it makes sense.